Well, hello everybody. It's been a while. It's good to talk to you. And I know it's going to take a little while for everybody to find us, but I just wanted to hang out here, see if we can all chat and get caught up again. So I hope everybody's taking care. I hope you're all being safe. And let me make sure I disable. There we go. I disabled the noise there. So we'll see if this works. We'll have a minute here. Let me go share this on Twitter real quick. And so everybody knows we're here. Let's see here. Grab the link there. Put it here. And we'll see when this actually goes live. It says a couple people are watching. We'll see if that actually happens. Still says, there we go. All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Took me a minute to get that all set up the way it should, but we should now be live on YouTube. Hello, Ed, and so many others. Let me kind of rearrange this. I got to kind of get everything set back up the way I enjoy having it. So I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I thought we could have a little bit of fun doing some crazy news stories and just chatting and touching base and seeing how everybody is. And thank you to everybody who has followed me over here. I really appreciate your support. Got some big things I hope to announce in the next few weeks. Trying to get them ready to go public before we make a lot of announcements. But we're going to be real. We're going to work hard real quick to make them all reality so we can keep helping you hopefully in the future. But I didn't want to vanish and not say anything, so I wanted to come and chat with you and thought we could maybe discuss some important topics like, let's see here. Important topics like, is a hot dog really a sandwich? This was a lead story on The Verge when I went to The Verge this morning. I just have to ask, has anyone ever actually debated, is a hot dog a sandwich? I must say I've had a lot of debates in my life, but the idea of is a hot dog a sandwich has actually never come up in the entire time I think I've lived. So I really want to know from you, is there really a discussion about hot dogs as sandwiches? Or and am I just like completely somehow missed the boat on this argument here? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the hot dog situation. And also, how is everybody doing it? Everybody being safe out there? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So a little bit of some other fun things. If you're following me on YouTube and you're not following me on Twitter, I have a link in the show notes down below. Really appreciate if you would follow us on Twitter because I'll be answering some questions there. I'd love to hear what you think. And I'll be posting some news in the next week. So if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any big news, follow me over there. Ed says, no, a hot dog is not a sandwich, but can't prove it. That's a good question. How can we scientifically prove if a hot dog is a sandwich or not? That really raises a lot of questions, to be honest with you. So, one other story I thought was kind of interesting today. This is maybe an ingenious business idea. Charleston restaurant is being accused of delivering $2 frozen Costco pizzas for $18. According to the Post and Courier.com, they were taking Costco pizzas that were frozen. We're not even talking about the store bought, or where you go up there and get the store hot pizzas there. But no, they would go into the frozen section, buy them, cook them, and then sell them for $18. So I want to know, have you ever suspected a pizza restaurant which is serving you frozen pizza? Let me know. Any plans to expand guy reviews in the website? And hot dog is a sandwich, according to Mazeric 97. Hope I said that right. We do have a new website in the works. So there is a new website, maybe multiple websites in the works, and that's kind of what I'm busy working on right now. So leave me a comment and let me know if you'd love to have a guy reviews website. But the big thing for guy reviews is I really intend to expand it outside of where it is right now into more areas than it is. So I'd love to kind of know what you think of it. DG Flex, I hope I say that right, says, I miss you on Core Cutters, Luke. I do miss chatting to all you too. I'm very excited for what Jess is going to do, though, and I really would appreciate if you would support Jess as much as possible on her live Q&As also. But don't worry, I'm going to be over here. I got some new things in the works, including some new sites, maybe, multiple, that I think will really help you. So how upset would you be if you bought an $18 pizza and found out it was a $2 frozen pizza that somebody heated up and then drove to your home? What wasn't those DiGiorno commercials? Wasn't there ones for a while where it was like, you can't tell the difference between a delivery pizza and a DiGiorno? Maybe this is kind of taking that to the next level. Kind of appreciate the ingenuity on that a little bit. But I don't know. We'll see. So I got to ask, how's everybody holding up with the virus craze right now? Are you struggling at all? I hope not. I hope you're all being really safe. And everybody being very cautious out there. Ed says ramen noodles was $7 at Sam's Club and it's $50 on Amazon, and Sam's is sold out. Wow. That's kind of crazy. Chris says he definitely wants to see a new website. Don't worry, Chris. We're going to have a new website. It's in the works. I'm very excited about it, but I have to finish some stuff first. I got to get it ready to go live before I'll make a big announcement. But let us know, what would you like to see from a new website? Not going to go copy Corgar's news. I'll be honest with that. It's going to be something different, but I'd love to know what you think about it. NYC says he'll be unhappy. He expects pizzerias to make a fresh pizza. Yeah, you know what I thought was mostly interesting about this story was, in my opinion, I didn't think that this pizza looked all that enticing. I mean, I love my pizza slightly well done, and I love my pizza with a little bit of extra sauce, but I can't say this particular pizza really jumped out at me. NYC, I'm glad you liked that video you got. I bookmarked that one a long time ago, and that particular video for staying calm and anxiety and everything has really been powerful for me, so I hope it is the same for you. All right, so Ed says he believes Little Caesar delivers frozen pizzas. That would be interesting. I will admit, I do enjoy the meal box at Little Caesars. That little $5 like lunch deal is not a bad deal. Jet's Pizza, which is another brand, not where I live right now, but back in my hometown, Michigan, is equally good there. Here's a question. Any plans to be a Twitch video game streamer? You know, I actually have a Twitch account, and I've thought about it. I really do enjoy playing a lot of video games. Been playing a lot of Modern Warfare recently, but though I've been playing a lot of older games. With this virus lockdown, we're not doing a lot of the things we typically do. I've been playing Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 online as multiplayer. So maybe I should do some Twitch streaming of some classic Command & Conquer, maybe some Modern Warfare. We'll see. I'm not nearly as good at video games as I used to be. I think I got a little rusty. After over 5 years of working 7 days a week, I have not taken a day off in 5 years. It's really weird to suddenly have some free time. So now I'm playing video games again, but I'm finding I'm a little bit rusty. So we'll see. So if you're locked in under quarantine, and let's say you go for a walk, how would you feel if a drone flew over your head and started using profanities to tell you to stop it? So apparently in Italy, there's a mayor who's using a drone with a speaker on it to fly around town and yell at people who aren't maintaining social distancing. I'd love to know what you think of this. I've seen in some U.S. countries, similar, or counties and states, I've heard stories of a volunteer corps in New York, for example, and I don't think these are federal sanctioned or state sanctioned or city sanctioned, but people who just own a drone flying around parks blasting at people messages to, break up, disperse, social distancing and all that. So what would you think if you were just walking down the sidewalk, which I have to admit, since this all started, I've been taking a lot more walks than I ever did in the past, that I'm interested, and somebody flew a drone over my head and started yelling at me for being out on a walk. I don't know if I'll be happy about that. I have noticed, though, that in my neighborhood, at least, like if I'm walking on one side and there's somebody coming the other direction, one of us will go to the other side of the road. Anybody else doing that? Oh, wait, somebody got to go to the other side of the road. So I'd love to know if you are being affected by that. Justin wants to know, Justin, hey, not willing to kind of talk at all about my future plans right now. Hang in there. Follow me over at corecarsnews.com. That's that's a force of habit. Go follow me on my Twitter. Follow Jess and Philip at corecarsnews.com. Please support them. I'm really excited about what is going to happen. I know Jess is absolutely killing it on her Q&As and stuff, so please support her. That would mean a lot to me. But follow me on Twitter, link in the show notes down below, and you can watch it there. Ed says he heard a story about them doing the purge siren as a curfew thing. Yeah, so I heard that there's a town with a curfew, and the police thought it would be funny to use the purge kind of sound effect. And I guess the mayor has already come out and apologized for that and say he won't be doing that again. So I thought that was kind of funny, though, in the sense that showed probably a lack of common sense and a lack of civility. So keep that in mind. But let me know, has anybody been flying a drone around your neighborhood yelling at you? I'd love to hear from you. So are you struggling to find eggs? I've noticed in my local grocery store that most products are right back in stock. I actually found out Walmart in my area has lessened a lot of the restrictions. For instance, bread, where you could only get one loaf, is now all you want. For a while, pasta and soup were limited. Now there's no limits on pasta and soup in my area. I was very shocked on Tuesday when I went. Paper towels, toilet paper, milk, eggs, everything was in stock. But apparently people are really concerned about not being able to get the amount of eggs they want. So baby chickens are sold out nationwide ahead of Easter as Americans panic buy to hopefully grow their own eggs. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So let me know, are you buying your own eggs? Are you trying to grow your own food to make sure you don't run out? So far, I found that at least everywhere I am, there's plenty of food. I know there was a couple weeks right when this first started where it was, I would go and be like, okay, I may not be able to get the kind of milk I want, or eggs may be out, but 9 times out of 10, I was able to get what I want. Hey, I just put a link in the show notes in the chat. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I would appreciate that if you're not there, because that's where I'm going to be making announcements about the future of our next project. So let me know, would you buy a new eggs or chickens to farm eggs? Are you growing your own vegetables and stuff? I'd love to hear from you. See here, NYC said he heard it was Louisiana using that siren from the purge. Yeah, it's definitely that definitely has to go down as poor judgment on that police department there. So let me know. Speaking of the virus, this is an interesting one I kind of thought was kind of fun today. A driver is claimed was caught doing 130 miles an hour in his car, claimed he was trying to avoid catching the virus. So are you believing that he was speeding at 130 miles an hour because he thought that would help him prevent to catch the virus? This comes from ground.news. It's just, which I'm not very familiar with them at all, but I thought that was an interesting story from 2 days ago. Do you really believe that driver was going 130 miles an hour because he was trying to avoid catching the virus? I don't know. Let me know what you think, but I thought that one was kind of interesting. Um, here's a story. I assumed that this would not be legal, but I'd love to know what you think of it. According to the Warzone from thedrive.com, which is a website I see a lot of, there's a man who owns the most advanced private Air Force after buying 46 FA-18 Hornets. Question, I had assumed you couldn't legally do that. I just kind of assumed that was not something that was illegally allowed, but apparently he does own an entire fleet of F-18 Hornets, which makes him owning the most prominent air or private Air Force. That's kind of scary a little bit, kind of cool. The younger me is kind of like, I kind of want to own F-18 Hornet. Actually, an F-14 is probably going to be, if I could buy any aircraft, probably be an F-14. I always loved those growing up. So let me know if you could buy anything. Let me know. Jump back to the previous story because there's a delay. I'll try to lower the delay for the next one of these since we're doing kind of reactions to some of this. But he says, Ed says you only need to go 110 to avoid the virus. Ed, have you actually tried that? Let me know. As for the driver, I see that as absolute clownery, NYC says. And Justin wants to know if the virus was running after him in the car. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. So I wonder if he got off with it. I don't think he really did. All right, let's keep moving along here. Any XFL fans? If you're an XFL fan like I was, bad news is it's pretty much laid off all employees and reportedly has no plans to return in 2021. When I saw this on Twitter, the number one response on it was, my measurement, what was it? The review bra. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. That was the number one comment. That cracked me up. But really sad to say this. I think I enjoyed the AAF a lot better. But I was enjoying the XFL, and it's kind of a tough blow. Reportedly, ratings weren't perfect, but they were pretty strong, especially for the first year. And they were reportedly doing fairly well on track for a year two, and maybe expansion. And it sounds like this situation happening now has put the death nail into the XFL. So, any XFL fans out there, what ones would you root for? What do you think about them shutting down? Let me know. Chris says he didn't know that the owning military planes was legal. I know owning military planes is legal, but not if they're actually usable. And Amazing Eric 97 says, I have neighbors starting a garden again. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I miss gardening. It's been a while. We'll see if I can get back into it this year. I know in Michigan, they actually banned the sale of seeds. You're not allowed to go in the garden section and buy seeds for carrots or corn or whatever. I know a lot of people are really upset about that up in Michigan. Here's a question for everybody. I'd love to know, what kind of rules are there up where you live that they're kind of implementing? In Texas, I think they're taking this very well. I'm in an area that's locked down until the end of the month. But in Michigan, for example, you can't go to a car wash. Here in Texas, you can go to a car wash, but the vacuum hoses are gone and the trash cans are gone. So you can go through the car wash and leave, but you can't actually clean out your car there. In Michigan, they banned the sale, or all car washes have to close. Here in Texas, for instance, lawn service can work, but they can't come to your door and knock. So when my lawn care guy came to do the fertilizer, he just called me from the driveway and said, hey, I'm about to apply your fertilizer. When I'm done, please run the sprinklers, instead of coming to the door. In Michigan, they're not allowing that. So I'd love to know, how do you think your state's doing? Are they being too draconian? Are they being too soft? How is your state handling the lockdowns, or are they not? I know there's some states that are not doing it. I think I heard in, was it Wyoming or somewhere like that? They only have 200 some cases. So let me know. Hello, Tim. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Anyway, says he's bummed that XFL failed again. Disney and Fox gave the league a second chance, and they were professionalized. He goes, I hate the virus. I hate the virus too. I really wish this would be all over. Tim says he's looking to get some stuff done around the house. What is he working on? Let me know. Chris says the season was only 5 games for the XFL. The new football league could be a success. It could. They could maybe rehire staff next fall and try to make another run at this, but it doesn't sound promising right now, to be honest with you. So very disappointed to see the XFL fail. Hopefully, it will rise from the ashes once again. So, any questions for me? Non-cord cutting related. So if you have a cord cutting question, please take that to Jess. Really appreciate if you could support her. But let's chat a little bit and go from there. Ed says, here is my part of Florida. It's business as usual. Oh, so I thought Florida was under a statewide lockdown, basically. So you're staying in your parts of business as usual. I know in some counties it's harsher than others. I have a friend in Florida who his county does not allow golf, but the next county over does. So he just made a tee time at the next county over and went golfing. I know in Michigan, for example, storage units with an internal storage, you have to go down a hallway, like climate controlled ones, they're closed. A lot of people are very upset that they're not able to go get into their storage units. So let me know. Tim says he's taking this time to get his garage organized so he can set up a wood shop again. Yeah, I need to go through my garage. We actually been going through closets recently. When Goodwill reopens, Goodwill's and those other thrift type stores are probably going to make a huge intake of stuff. Because we got a couple trash bags, big black trash bags, just full of clothes that don't fit my daughter anymore, all kinds of stuff we're going to be donating. Chris says Washington State is stay at home until May 4th. Chris, what kind of rules do they have where you are? Are you agreeing with their policies? I'd love to know what you think. Hey, everybody, I see there's a lot of new people that are joining us. We're just hanging out, having fun, and chatting. So come and join the conversation. As far as the new website that's going to be launching, or websites, hang in here a couple more weeks. We're building it right now. Got big things in the works. Very excited to see what comes next for you. And so hang in here. Make sure you're following me on Twitter also, because we'll be making a lot of announcements there. I really appreciate your support. Here in Kentucky, they're only allowing one person per household in the stores. They're not making that official here in Texas, but they're strongly encouraging it. And I know the stores on their own have been cracking down on it. But in Texas, at least where I am, they're not mandating one person per family in the stores. Though I will say it's kind of weird. You go into some stores right now, it's like an entire family. You know, like 8 kids, mom and dad. Okay, maybe not 8 kids, 4 kids, 3 kids kind of thing, and mom and dad. It's like, okay, how come one of the parents didn't stay home with the kids and the other parent go to the store? I know my daughter is getting a little frustrated, be on some walks. She hasn't left the house in like 4 weeks now. So I get it. I have kids too. But probably not the time for all of us to be going, trying to hang out hang out at the store as a place to just hang out. So I kind of get it. Don't ruin it for the rest of us is all I ask. So let me know what's happening in your area. All right. So this is what I thought was kind of interesting. And the reason I want to bring this one up is toilet paper. Have you been able to find toilet paper? According to the CNBC, top U.S. toilet paper makers say they're working around the clock. I've heard they're hiring a lot of people. And that according to them, they believe that they're going to be able to reach, or very soon, supply demand for toilet paper. In my little neighborhood here, the last couple times I've gone to Walmart or H-E-B, which is a grocery store chain that largest in Texas, they've actually had toilet paper. Now, not a ton of it. They've had paper towels and toilet paper. But according to this, when this story was written the week before, they did $378 million in toilet paper, which is up 123% from the same week the year before. So toilet paper makers are apparently really, really doing well. and they're running 24/7, 7 days a week. I've even heard from some people who live in the area that they're desperately trying to get more employees. So if you're looking for jobs and you live by a toilet paper company, maybe see if they're hiring some line workers out there. Eric says, Indiana is on a stay-at-home order. You can still go outside and drive for essential business. Restaurants cannot have dine-in. Some non-essential stores are closed. Same here in Texas, very similar. I've been really impressed with how Texas is doing it. And at least in my area of Texas, I thought that the rules have made sense. We have not seen anywhere near a spike here. And the last I heard, my entire county, which has like 4 major hospitals in it, had less than a dozen people in the hospital because of the virus. So hopefully that trend continues. Justin says, I liked your review of the President Bush library. Ian plans to review the other 2. I do intend to do more visits. There's actually a German World War II POW camp close to where I live. It's like an hour and something drive. But in World War II, when Germans were captured, many of them were shipped back to the United States to work in farms and stuff here. And where I live, there's a still fully there museum that's a German World War II POW camp. Unfortunately, it's closed, so I haven't been able to go to it. But we are, when it opens back up, I hope to do some more videos like that. And I really want to visit that German World War II POW camp. Tim says he was managed to find toilet paper and sanitizer at the local Dollar Tree. That's a pretty good deal. Let's see here. I hope Congress drafts legislation to legalize. Yep. More toilet paper. Yeah. I don't think the problem is having paper in NYC. I think the problem with toilet paper was I read an article, and according to the article, before the virus hit, 80% of all toilet paper purchased was commercial toilet paper, rest stops, restaurants, hotels, etc. 20% was toilet paper that was produced in for households. So 20% of the toilet paper were brands like Angel Soft and Charmin that was sold in Walmarts and stuff. Well, what has happened is that flipped. We went from 20% residential to 80%. The problem was we were producing toilet paper that couldn't be used for or couldn't be sold at Walmart. It wasn't packaged for that. So I've heard that, for instance, restaurants and other places in my area have been having an easy time getting it because there's a surplus of toilet paper for commercial purposes. So I've known some local restaurants have done things like if you order food from them, they'll also sell you a roll of toilet paper at a reasonable price. So hopefully soon that will all catch up. But I thought it was very interesting. The other thing that they said that's affecting toilet paper supplies is the federal government, for all these pop-up hospitals and all that, are buying a ton of toilet paper so they can stock all these new pop-up hospitals and different things. So we'll see what happens. Justin said he got 48 rolls on Amazon. Every time I've checked Amazon, there hasn't been. So you won the internet that day. Our favorite Chinese food place has closed for the time being. Yeah, there's a couple of small restaurants in our area that's closed. My wife loves a particular local coffee shop, and they've closed up shop. So hopefully many restaurants will be able to successfully get past this. I did read an article, though, that says maybe as many as 1/3 of small restaurants will not make this. I apologize. My allergies are acting up. I did not take a Sudafed today. And I was just outside trimming the bushes before the rain came. Yeah, I am worried about a lot of restaurants. It's being reported that maybe as many as 1/3 of restaurants won't make it. But that was assuming we would all be back to work by the end of this month. If some states have to extend, I worry that an even higher number of restaurants won't make it. Yeah, it is very sad, Eric, to see so many parking lots closed with retail stores out of business. Though I was talking to a lot of landlords, some I know, and they were all talking about how they're trying to take advantage of this time to go resurface their parking lot. And so asphalt companies, at least where I am, are busier than ever. That all these asphalt companies are running around trying to meet the demand of the high number of calls for, hey, can you come redo my parking lot because it's empty? This is the perfect time to do it. So, that reminds me, I think it was Verizon. A bunch of Verizon employees went on strike, and Verizon went, throw out strike, let's resurface the parking lot. So as they're picketing outside of Verizon's regional office, Verizon, redid the parking lot, which is, if you know anything, not the most enjoyable thing out there to smell. So we'll have to wait and see if we see a lot more of that happen. What do I think of AMC and other theaters, Luke? Yeah, so AMC announced that they're going to close some theaters, or reportedly will. I believe it's just a report right now, and that they're looking at bankruptcy. And I know, a lot of people are talking about, last year is a record year for AMC theaters. And it was in some ways, but the actual ticket revenue, I heard, was actually one of the worst in many years. Smaller margins, all kinds of different issues. So we'll have to see what happens there. But let's be honest. Movie theaters were struggling before. This could definitely put a lot smaller and even large movie theaters under. We'll have to see. I hope not. I mean, that's sad. I'm not a big movie person. I would rather watch a movie at home because, let's be honest, I just think the experience is better, and I detest the pricing that they charge. But my wife absolutely loves it, so I'm hoping, I'm hoping that they can take advantage of this opportunity. Hopefully, when everybody gets out and maybe goes back to movie theaters more, will help them survive. But I worry many won't. Eric says many downtown restaurants in his town are struggling because most office workers who would eat there aren't there. Yeah, that is very true. And the thing I worry about is a lot of those little mom and pop shops that are on the corners that serve the walkers in like New York City. Those little, small corner stores, press, places, they're all struggling, and I really worry for them. Tim says in Kentucky, schools are closed until the 1st. Same here in Texas. I think it's actually the 4th of Texas. The 4th of May is when they'll reopen, and that's a Monday. I'm hoping that is the case. I know the governor of Florida came out and said he would love to have the schools reopen just to be able to get the kids, even if it's just for like 2 or 3 weeks, back in. As a parent, I love that. Of course, I want it to be done when it's safe. And the governor said, if it's safe, and we may do it by county basis, where some counties may be okay, but not others, we'll do it. But I do hope that, if possible, kids can go back to school this year. It's good for kids to be in school, not just for the learning, but for the social aspect of it. I feel bad for my daughter because she can't go play with her friends right now. So I definitely started like that. Tim says several movie theaters have closed in their area, and bowling as well as bowling alleys. Yeah, that's really tough. A lot of bowling alleys too. Not exactly a high profit business where you have a lot of cash reserves. Hopefully they can make it. It's kind of one of those things. If you can be the one that makes it, you may be in a really good spot here because some of your competition may not be around. But sadly, that means a lot of lost jobs. I really hate to see that. Colin, it's good to see you here. Welcome. We're just kind of goofing off a little bit and talking about some fun stories. So let's see here if I can find a couple more more interesting stories. Let's see here. This story will open up. I have never heard of this website, the Irish Post. But woman discovers bar of soap she's been washing her hands with for days is block of cheese. Anybody ever here wash your hands with a block of cheese before? Irish Post, that may be one of the toughest things there. Raymond, that's something that you probably have to ask Jess. My opinion is there are a lot of businesses that are going to be struggling, and there's going to be a lot of Americans, though, looking for cheaper ways to cut on their bills. Tim says he was actually working part-time at one of the alleys. Yeah, I really worry about a lot of people with their jobs. 16 million people unemployed. I know Amazon and others are definitely stepping up and hiring a lot more, but it's not quite enough to really offset that. Hopefully, they're talking so much right now that we've flattened the curve, that the growth rate has now kind of flattened off. That doesn't mean we're ahead of this, but if we can keep this trend going and start decreasing it, hopefully at the end of the month we can start opening things up. And when I say that, I don't mean just like throw the doors open and everybody run out and go back to the way it was. But like in Michigan, for example, they went and banned car washes, lawn service and stuff. Well, in Texas we have that. So maybe like some states could start opening up car washes again, start open up other places. Hey, Colin, I'm not sure who John is. Can you let me know? Schools in Indiana are closed the rest of the year. Yeah, New York, Michigan, and a few other places. California, I think they are too. We'll see. Yeah, this soap has no lather. I love that. Next time we do another one of these chats, and let me know, would you love to have some more of these live chats where we just kind of goof off, maybe look at some crazy news stories together? Leave me a comment. Let me know if you'd like to see us do these more often. But let me see if I can find some additional ones here. I've been hearing about this a lot more recently too. Oregon police are reminding residents to not call 911 if you're running out of toilet paper. I've been actually hearing a growing trend of this, and I've even heard of police officers trying to help some very elderly people with picking up groceries, with picking up some basic supplies. I always hope that like churches and more would step up in circumstances like that and help too. Raymond asks, how have I been? I've been really good. It's been 5 years since I've had a day off. It's been 5 years since I've had a day off, so I've been trying to enjoy that a little bit. I'm still with Core Cars News for a few more days here, helping with the final transition. But then I may take a week off. But hopefully here in the next couple weeks, we'll be announcing the new site with some new things. Eric says, many people are going to stay home, or going to continue to stay home, even when businesses reopen. I do agree. I think even once people reopen the doors, I think many people will not want to go out. Other people are going to run out of their home like a jailbreak. So I do worry. I grew up summer camps. I worked at a summer camp. I was a director at a summer camp. And I was talking to a friend of mine who was at a summer camp. And within the industry, a lot of summer camp executives are very concerned. Summer camps are not a high profit business. Many of them make it year to year. Some of them kind of barely coast until the next summer when they get their money, and then they coast all winter. And if they can't be open this year, it could be the death for many summer camps. And I really do worry about that. Chris says he would love to see more videos like this. Yeah, I would definitely love to do more like this. Ed, it's good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. We're just kind of hanging out as we're self-isolating. Anybody, here's the most important question of the day. Who's stir crazy right now? Who has kids who are very stir crazy? Yeah, right here. I got a kid that hasn't left the house in almost a month and is actually just about to go crazy. So anybody else out there dealing with kids who are stir crazy, are you going stir crazy? Let me know. Here's the other question. Who here has washed their hands more in the last 24 hours than maybe you did in the entire month of February? Anyone? I definitely notice I'm definitely thinking about washing my hands a lot more often. Like I was just outside, I'm washing my hands kind of thing. I've definitely noticed I'm washing my hands a lot more. Thankfully, we did a Costco run not long beforehand. We stocked up things like toilet paper and cleaning. Yeah, the pandemic. Yeah, unfortunately, the XFL reboot. I really hate to see that. I still have a slight glimmer of hope that they're able to pull this off. We'll see. We'll see. But I'd love to know what you think. Here's a possible. Oh wait, not that story. Jump around some stories because where we went through all the stories. Next time we do this, I'll make sure to have more stories in the lineup. Now, here's something I've been wondering. I've actually been waiting for something like this to happen. But from the News 8 the CBS in Las Vegas. A suspect wore a hazmat suit and sprayed 13 people with a clear substance in a Walmart. I was kind of wondering when something like this would happen, but we're all wearing masks. Who's used to all the signs out there that said no masks, no hats or anything? Suddenly we're going from don't wear masks, don't wear a hat, to please wear a mask in stores. Will people try to take advantage of that to commit crimes? So I wondered when that would happen. So NYC says he is stir crazy. Yeah, NYC, I'm right there with you. Hello, Johnny. Good to have you here. Eric says he's having to use a lot more hand lotion since his hands are so dry. I'm kind of glad that I'm down in Texas because the humidity's returned. Usually I'll be up in Michigan when I grew up. I would already just have horrible eczema on my hands. So, yeah, not looking forward to that. But hey, I'd love to know, would people love to see more videos like this? Would you love to see videos where we maybe just look at some of the more crazy news stories we find out there? More videos where we just look and enjoy some crazy fun news stories like this. Leave me a comment, let me know. If the NFL and NCAA cancel their seasons, there will be riots. I do agree. If we cancel in the fall, I think there'll be riots. I think right now what we need to do is just kind of take this a week-by-week thing. Hopefully, we can continue this trend of leveling off, and this trend of leveling off in a week or two will turn into a trend of a slow collapse of the numbers. I mean, the ultimate goal here is to reopen, right? The ultimate goal with all this is that we can get back to what will probably not be like what was back in January, but something a lot more closer to normal. Kind of like how September 11 was a huge defining moment for America. Life never went back to like it was before that date. We may never fully go back, but that's kind of the hope, right? The hope is that we will have football and more this fall. Sorry, I'm not even sure who's calling me. I thought I had my phone off. So, yeah, very, very hopeful that NFL and NCAA football will come in. And again, that's in the fall. And maybe we have to do it without fans. Maybe we do it where we broadcast the games on TV, but we don't have fans in the stadium. But you would hope that by this time, a couple things will happen. We would have some antibody testing so we could find out who's immune to it. 2, we would have better understanding of how to control it. And 3, that, the cases will start to go down between now and then. So we'll wait and see. All right. Let's see here. See if I can find another good story. The NASCAR virtual race has been interesting, though. Tim, I kind of agree a lot with you on that. I've actually been really enjoying watching classic football games. A couple nights ago, ESPNU aired the final, I'm a big Michigan fan, the final game of Tom Brady, the bowl game where he beat Alabama. And it was fun. My dad and I were texting. I saw it was on. I texted him like, hey, if you're bored, the game's on. We were watching it together, texting back and forth like a regular one. Let me know if you're enjoying the classic game. So here's a good story. If you're struggling to find toilet paper and hand sanitizer, you may want to go out to your local arcade. Block that off. According to the Star, hand sanitizer, toilet paper become arcade prizes amid shortages. So you can go plug into the video game, into the toy crane thing, and get a roll of toilet paper instead of winning an iPod or something. Now I did. It's kind of funny. Let's see here. I was going through a box recently, and I did discover that I had a thing of hand sanitizer I didn't know about. I tried to pay rent in the office with this, but the landlord said they weren't yet taking hand sanitizer as payment. So, let me flip it over. I didn't realize I was still on the image. There we go. I got 3 screens in front of me. But I was trying to pay rent with this half-used bottle of hand sanitizer. It must be worth like $400. But unfortunately, the landlord for the office wasn't accepting hand sanitizer yet. So maybe someday. You know, NYC is kind of interesting to think, you know, you're all right. You know, I'm in my 30s as well. You know, you look back at, you know, important dates. This will probably be one of those defining moments for my daughter, who is young. This is probably going to be the first one where she thinks back to being like, wow, I live, you know, she's going to tell her kids someday, I lived through the pandemic of 2020. And so we're going to have to kind of see how that translates into, you know, what will we look like afterwards? Like with different things in the past. We never quite returned to the way we were before, but the goal here is to get back to some more time of normality, we'll call it. Fingers crossed. Tim says he's watching a few CFL Classic Gary Cup games. Yeah, you know, it's really been fun to watch some of the old classic games. I've actually really enjoyed it. And I've said this a lot. I think ESPN would probably make better money if they would stop re-airing the same talk show all day and air more classic games when they actually don't have live sports. I have noticed, though, that, you know, there's just a lot more, a lot of people are getting more creative for their stuff out there and how they're going to try to put new content out. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. You know what's interesting, Raymond? You're all right. The 2009 one, it was at this point a lot bigger. I think the thing with this though is this one just has a different ring to it, and it's just with, you know, in 2009 we weren't all locked in our home. Now we are. I think this one will be a lot bigger and people remember it. Where in 2009 people really don't remember it. I remember I was a summer camp director for a YMCA camp in 2009. And I remember we added all kinds of precautions. We did temperature checks of people, every kid when they came every morning for a day camp, and overnight we did temperature checks. We had hand washing stations built everywhere all over camp when we did stuff. And some of those procedures we kept. We kept things like temperature checks when kids showed up for camp the first day and the first night. You don't believe how many people send their kids to camp sick. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right. WEE and AEW are doing empty arena shows. I didn't know the WWE and AEW were still producing live shows. That's interesting. I'll have to check into that. I noticed that ESPN has been doing a lot of classic WWE content there. So there's a lot of new people here, and I have to ask, this is probably going to be the defining question. This was the top story when I went to The Verge recently. It's time to stop debating whether a hot dog is a sandwich. So I mean, I talked about this at the beginning, but there's a lot more people here. I must say, I have never in my 30-some years of life had the conversation on over, is a hot dog a sandwich? I want to know two things from everybody here. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And two, have you ever in your life had a conversation with somebody about, is a hot dog a sandwich? Am I somehow completely out of touch with humanity and not understanding the conversation of, is a hot dog a sandwich or not? I kind of just suddenly feel like I'm way out of touch with humanity on understanding that. So let me know, is a hot dog a sandwich or not? Is it? I'd love to know. Oh, Justin says here's one thing that ESPN's doing. You're right. Game of Horse. Tomorrow, I think it's Sunday, right? ESPN with a bunch of NBA stars from their home gyms. I think they're using like Skype or Zoom or something. They're going to play a game of Horse where different NBA stars in different gyms are going to take each other on head-to-head for a game of Horse. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, Tim says AEW Wrestling has taped a lot of content recently. I mean, yeah, and in theory, if you could test them, without an audience, why not? Is there a risk of a second wave of this happening? Always, with all seasonality. The hope is that you would have a herd immunity where the vast majority of people would have herd immunity here in the future. But at some point too, at some point we got to reopen it, going forward. That's got to be the goal. Now the question is when, how, and best way to do it safely. NYC says personally he doesn't think that a hot dog is a sandwich, but everyone has their own opinions. No, there is only one right answer on this. I'm kidding. NYC. He says he's had that conversation on Twitter before. There is somebody here. Ed says if the hot dog bun is connected on the bottom, then it's not a sandwich. That's an interesting take. So is a sub sandwich where they don't completely cut through, the Subway sub, how they kind of cut it 75% of the way, kind of open it up, put the meat together and slam them together. Does that mean Subway subs are not sandwiches? You let me know. You make that decision. All right, let me see if I can find some more ones as people kind of give me their fun feedback. Let's see, what's this story here? All right, here's a good story from people.com. Has your package been stolen recently? Well, if so, it may not be a porch human thief, but a dog. Stray Texas dog caught on camera stealing packages. It's a therapy dog that gets caught stealing donations, so that's pretty interesting. So if you're, I don't want to play that video because I don't want any copyright claims, but if your package has been stolen, it could be because there's a stray dog going around that likes to pick up packages. Check that out. And let's see if I can find one more story because we're coming up in about an hour and I'm not going to go too far. Is water wet? Water is wet, but is it really wet is the question. If you believe it's not wet, I'm going to say you are right. All right. So one of the things while we wait here is we're kind of wrapping this up in the next 10-15 minutes. I'd love to know, would you be interested in more videos like this? Would you be interested in more fireside chats as we kind of build up to the launch of the new website, as we kind of get prepared to everything? I wanted to jump on here and really just kind of hang out because I miss all you. I really have enjoyed getting to know all of you. I've enjoyed the time. Definitely one of the toughest decisions of my life to walk away from that, but it gives me an opportunity to do some bigger and better things. And I'd love to know if you would enjoy seeing more videos like this, more live chats, maybe some more just random funny videos that we could chat about. So I'd love to be I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I'd love to know what you think of videos like this where we're just kind of having some fun during self-isolation. Because honestly, I love my family, but it's also nice to talk to other people. So leave me a comment, let me know. All right, let me see here. What other fun story could I get here? Tim says his water wet was a topic of his daughter's debate class. I believe it. I didn't do debate, but my brother did debate, and I remember some of the crazy topics they did. All right, here's a good last story. Eric says, yes, he'd love to do more of this. Tim says he'd love to do more. NYC says he'd love to do more. Yeah, NYC, definitely different here, but I would really appreciate if you would all do me a big favor and support Jess. That would mean a lot to me during her Q&As. All right, here's a great story. This is a great one in it. So if you're going to be a burglar, please be a polite burglar. Please say a burglar shook the homeowner's hand and closed the windows on his way out. Now, he may be polite, but he's also putting you at risk of death because of the virus. How dare he violate social distancing while he's politely robbing you? You know, if this was today, I bet this headline wouldn't say he was a polite burglar, but one that tried to commit attempted murder. So we'll see. But I love that. I love that headline there. Polite burglar shook homeowner's hand and closed window on his way out. Make sure to lock your windows, folks. Ed says, will I be reviewing products only, or will we review food and other things? I probably will be reviewing a lot of other things. Actually, we're talking to some companies about getting some review products out there, and we'll have a lot of fun with it. Now, maybe some food reviews. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe we could do some more videos like this where we find some more interesting videos. We'll definitely be doing more things like that. So I really do want to say thank you to everybody. I really appreciate your support. Do me a huge favor. If you can, follow me on Twitter. We have a lot in the works out there in the next couple of weeks where I'll be making some big announcements once the site and sites are ready to go live. I really want to grow guy reviews. I'm not really sure where I'm going to take guy reviews, to be honest with you. I've really enjoyed this. I would love to do more things like this with you, or maybe we just kind of hang out. So I'd love to know what you think and what you would like us to see. I know this channel right now is kind of a hodgepodge of videos. This was always kind of my afterthought channel where I'll throw things that didn't fit the other one. Now this is going to become my main one. So we're going to try to work hard to grow this, to have some fun. What this channel will grow into, I don't know. I have some other projects that we're going to be launching here in the weeks and months to come with new websites, new projects. Hopefully continue to help you save some money in different areas. But I also kind of would love to have kind of a fun relationship here where we can hang out, chat, and do things like this. Maybe we'll do some videos with some crazy news stories. So let me know. So let me know too what you think your favorite story is we talked about today. I'll love to hear from you. Richard, hey, don't worry about being late. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate that you showed up. Your support is just absolutely amazing. So, all right, I have this for ad delay. Oh, you know what? There's a 30-second ad delay. So I just discovered that there's a 30-second added delay. I'll definitely, in the next time I do this video, remove that 30-second added delay because I want this to be a much faster conversation. So in the next one, we'll do that. Richard, if you're out working the fields, that's a pretty good reason to be a little late. Don't worry, we're going to have a replay of this available later. Eric says I need to review a wide range of products. Any particular product you want me to review? Let me know. So, and thank you to everybody for joining us. I'll definitely play with the settings on this. Here's with this new channel. And my old channel, I had it much better set up. Because I'd done a lot of Q&As and stuff, and I'd edited the live stream. So when I'm looking back at these options here, I'm kind of realizing I don't have it set up quite the way I should. So I'll edit some of this to lower the delay so that our conversation is more real time. So let me know, is there any favorite story you want me to check out or any products you want me to review? Mute that site. See if there's any other. I think that's it for stories for today. I think we'll save some of the other stories for later. Don't forget Tiger King. The new episode drops tomorrow. Okay, crazy excited about that. We'll see. Name without says a good way to keep from touching your face is to hold a glass of wine with both hands. You know, that's not a bad idea. But all I have is a cup of water and a can of Coke, not wine. So I'll have to avoid that. Actually, what I did is, because I know I always touch my face a lot during this, I actually went and washed my hands. And I do regularly now sanitize my mouse and my keyboard and all that kind of stuff now. So let me know. What are my plans for this channel? I'm not fully sure. We're going to kind of see what connects here. I do have big plans. I got some reviews coming up. I've secured some products to review that I'm going to enjoy doing. But I also love to have more of like a personal connection with everybody here, where we can hang out and we can chat and we can do things. Maybe we can have some fun enjoying discussions like, is a hot dog a sandwich or not? Like we were discussing. Because apparently The Verge, there was like a headline story. So, yeah, we'll definitely have some fun. I'd love to know, what would you like to see from this channel? What kind of things would you like us to do with this channel? And let me know. Because like I said, this was always kind of my afterthought channel, where we just kind of put stuff out there and we just had some fun with it. But nowadays, with everything happening and the transition, this is now my main channel. And one of the things I do want to do is I do want to make some more travel videos. Like I did one where I went to the George H.W. Bush Presidential Museum. Like I said, there's a POW camp, a German World War II POW camp I love to go to. There's a George H.W. one. There's 2 different Lyndon Baines Johnson museums close to me, and I'd love to do all that. Yeah, Richard, I would definitely talk to Jess about that one, but I don't know. To me, that price may save me money. I don't know. We'll see. But talk to Jess. Jess is going to do all things core cutting. I'm not going to make this another core cutting channel, but there's a lot of fun things we can do. Do I have the 8 p.m. neighborhood howl in my neighborhood? Not on my street. I kind of live at the end of a cul-de-sac, kind of distant a little bit from everybody. But the next street over, they kind of do, where you can kind of hear them. A lot of my neighbors are very elderly. Just kind of work that way. So we haven't really done the 8 p.m. neighborhood howl on my part of the street like in other areas. Some barbecue ideas. Ooh, I do love to barbecue. Maybe we can jump in the kitchen and do some cooking videos. I've been told I'm pretty good at barbecuing and grilling, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to do some. Tim says I should go to the Football and Baseball Hall of Fame. So I'm much more of a football fan, but I do enjoy some baseball, so I may hit both. I'm going to be a lot closer soon to the Football Hall of Fame. We'll see, assuming travel plans don't change. But I definitely would love to do some of those. I think I'll just enjoy hanging out. And again, final poll. Would you enjoy it if I would do more and more of these kind of just live chats where we talk about crazy news stories, we talk about what's happening in the world? Maybe you can join me as I cook dinner one day. I don't know. You let me know. But I'd love to know, would you like to see more of these live chats where we just kind of go crazy and find some crazy stories? Maybe you can suggest some crazy stories. Maybe we go out and we chat about what's happening in the world right now. I'd love to hang out with you in the future. So let me know. One last call. Would you like to see more videos like this? And if not, why? What would you like to see? And then we're going to wrap up. I hope everybody stays safe. No matter what happens here, I hope you all stay really, really safe. I hope you're all using common sense. Unfortunately, common sense is not as common as it should be. It's kind of one of those things that you hear all throughout history. I was reading a news story from the early 1900s or something, and it was talking about how Americans have seemed to have lost their common sense. And now in 2020, we talk about how we've lost our common sense. When over 100 years ago, they were talking about the exact same thing. So I thought that was very interesting. So, one last time, if you're new and you haven't followed me on Twitter, please make sure to follow me on Twitter. Link in the show notes there. Colin wants to know if I can find some good news. Yeah, let's see if we can find a couple good news stories. Ed says he enjoys this. Justin says he enjoys this. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oop. Let's look for some good news real quick. Uplifting news. Here we go. All right. A 101-year-old British man has beaten the virus. That's good news. Here's a great one because I know in India they're really struggling. But check out this news story. Let me jump here. Blog, there we go. Restaurant owner feeds 10,000 plus people every day. So I know there's been a real struggle there, but it's great. This restaurant owner has been making 10,000 plus meals. Hopefully, if people are able to, they're donating. But this is absolutely great. The initiative began with them feeding just 700 meals a day, and the daily wage workers in the area now has touched 10,000 plus meals a day. The team is to deliver as they hope to bring relief to people in time of need. That's absolutely great. You know, one of the things I really would encourage everybody to do is to really pay attention to people happening around you if you could. Could you help make sure everything is, you know, is there a neighbor that needs some groceries? Is there a neighbor who may need their lawn mowed? Because I know like in Michigan, lawn care services are banned. Could you maybe help out a elderly couple on your street by mowing their lawn? So try to help out people around you. Colin says that one thing if you're going to do crazy news stories, make sure you have them vetted to make sure you're not spreading false information. It's very correct. I was very careful in picking out these stories. If you notice, I stuck to a lot of large websites like people.com, ESPN, local news stations, and more. And I did breeze through a lot of these. Tim says his mother-in-law is making masks to donate. So that's pretty good. Now, here's one that I'm actually fascinated by. Is everything NASA's doing. And I was kind of shocked that NASA actually sent a new set of astronauts to the International Space Station. I was kind of wondering, you know, like, oh man, this was actually a really great time to be up at the International Space Station because you're all isolated. It's about as isolated as you can get in today's world. So I thought that was a little interesting. But no, Colin, I will definitely be careful of what stories we share during these live chats. And we'll have fun. So I think we're going to wrap this up. I really just wanted to say thank you. I thank you for your support. This channel I hope to grow. We'll develop. We'll try a few different things. Maybe it will stick. Maybe it won't. But we'll keep trying things. We'll grow this channel. Hangout, because I do have some new websites in the works that we will be announcing here soon. And again, do me a favor. Go support Jester, her live chats on Wednesdays. I would really appreciate if you'd be very supportive of her live chats. Also, as she does the Q&As now. So I'm very excited for Jess, and I wish her all the best. I'm still in touch with her regularly. So hope you're all doing well. I think we're going to wrap this up. I've had a lot of fun with everybody here. Let's definitely do this again. So if you find any fun stories, send me a tweet over at LukeBK on Twitter with whatever crazy news story you find. And maybe during our next self-isolation funny story live chat, we'll pick out one of the stories you recommended. So I hope everybody takes care. I hope you're all safe. Please be careful out there. Please use your common sense. I have faith in you. If you're smart enough to find me over there, I know you're smart enough to use common sense to be safe. So use common sense. Help out people around you. I really appreciate your support. I'll chat with you all real soon. I'm going to go try to play a game with my daughter. Have fun, everybody. Take care.